Good morning, everyone. Let's look today at those 4 questions from yesterday and see how they went. Again, remember you are supposed to be trying the method that I'm encouraging at this point. If you want to skip it later, that's fine. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the conversion between inches and feet, and I know that there are 12 inches in every 1 foot. So now that I have my conversion, I can set up my conversion chart that will help me stay organized and find all those conversions. So again, I set it up like this, and the first thing that I have is, what do I want to change? Well, I have 72 inches, and I would like to switch it into feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel out inches and move towards feet. So remember, when I'm trying to cancel something out, I divide, which means that whatever is by the inches will get divided. And when I'm switching something into feet, I need to drop the conversion there, and the 1 ends up by the foot. I'm going to double check my 12 is by the inches, and I am good to go. Now this gives me 72 times 1 across the top, which is just, of course, 72. And don't forget, our inches are canceling out along the bottom. And on the bottom, since I just have 12, let's write 12 down there, which means I'm left with 72 over 12. And 72 divided by 12 gives me an answer of 6. So I end up with 6 feet as my final answer. You must have units in order for an answer to be correct. For number 2, I wanted to convert 8 pounds into ounces, and I know that 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. So let's set up our chart. Since I already have the conversion between pounds and ounces, I know that I'm all ready for this step. I'm going to start by filling in what I want to change, and I want to change 8 pounds. I want this to become ounces, so I'm going to remind myself of that by putting it over here. And now I can look at what cancels. So in order to get rid of the pounds, I'm going to put pounds on the bottom, and I'm going to include the conversion with it. So I have the 1 with a pound. I want to move into ounces, so I have that direct conversion. I know that 1 pound is equal to that 16 ounces, so I can write it right there. And now all I need to do is multiply across the top and divide across the bottom. Notice how my pounds will cancel, and I'll be left with ounces like I want here. So 8 times 16 is going to give me 128 as an answer across the top here. So 128, and along the bottom, of course, is just 1, and anything divided by 1 is itself, so I'm actually already done at 128 ounces for my final answer. The next one gets into converting different currencies, and this is something that is kind of important when you travel, so you know what you're paying for things. So you don't just blindly hand them a lot of cash and hope that you just haven't sold your house trying to buy a burger. Yeah, I wish I could say I have never just randomly guessed, but I definitely have. Of course, I've gotten better at doing conversions in my head. Let's figure out, though, how we can get it exact. So I have the conversion between pounds and dollars today, at least, and since that gives me my direct conversion, I can set up my chart. And what I'm going to do then is drop in my starting amount, which is 22 pounds. Have some fun drawing that symbol there like a very fancy L. Sometimes they even include the little sideways line through it too. Now here I want to cancel out my pound sign, that L, and so I will write that along the bottom, and that will be that 1 pound right here. And across the top I'm going to do $1.33, because that's what I'm converting it into. And remember that overall, I'm trying to get an answer in dollars. So this is going to give me 22 times 1.33 across the top, and that gives me an answer of 29.26. And along the bottom, I just have 1, and since, like we know, that does nothing to the number when you divide it, we are left with $29.26. So if something is priced as 22 pounds, this is what you would be paying in American dollars. So a little bit higher. And let's look then at our final problem. Our last problem asks us to switch 2.9 liters into tablespoons, but I don't have a lovely conversion for that. So that means I'm going to need to find one. So I'm going to look at my chart here. And I'm just going to track a few things between what do I want, liters and tablespoons. So I want to find a conversion between those two things. Well, if I look up here, I have several things with tablespoons. I have one here that goes into fluid ounces. I have, let's see, a tablespoon that goes into teaspoons. That doesn't seem like it will be super helpful, but hey, you never really know. And I think that's it. So I can get tablespoons into either a fluid ounce or I can get it into a teaspoon. Okay, well then let's look at what I can do with liter. And with the liter, I can get liter into, well, if I'm just looking here, I can get it into pints, which, okay, that's not tablespoons yet. And I can also get it into fluid ounces. Oh, I can get tablespoons into fluid ounces, so that means that I have an overlap. And remember, an overlap is all you need. By the way, it's not entirely impossible that you got to it with pints, or that it can take like 3 or 4 steps to get there. And that's okay. Don't be afraid to explore it a little bit. So here, I know that I can get liters into fluid ounces, and I know that I can get fluid ounces into tablespoons. So those are the two conversions that I need, because that fluid ounce serves as a bridge to bring you from tablespoons into liters or from liters into tablespoons. So I'm going to take those two conversions and I'm going to write them out so that I have them set to go. Okay, so my first conversion is 1 fluid ounce is equal to 2 tablespoons. And my second conversion is 1 liter is equal to 33.814, and I'm going to shorten it there, fluid ounces. Okay, now that I have my conversion and I know I can get from one to the other, I'm going to set up my chart. Here, I'm going to put what I want to change, 2.9 liters. And remember that this is going to serve as the thing that guides me through. Because the first thing that I want to do on my goal to tablespoons is I want to cancel out liters. Now the conversion that cancels out liters is right here. So I'm going to put liter on the bottom and I'm going to see what I switch into. Well, I switch into fluid ounces. And remember, drop the numbers around it. I know that I have 1 liter, so the 1 goes by the L, and I have 33.814 fluid ounces. Next, because I've out of liters, I've made progress, but I'm not done yet because I want tablespoons. So I'm going to get out of fluid ounces and into tablespoons. And again, if I'm trying to cancel out fluid ounces, it goes on the bottom because it's kind of like division here, right? I'm basically dividing these units. They're canceling each other out. And I'm going to be switching from fluid ounces into tablespoons, which is what I want. And they're going to cancel, which is going to be great. The number that goes with fluid ounces is 1 because that's in the conversion, and the number that goes with tablespoons is 2. So here, I'm going to multiply across the top and divide across the bottom, but right away, see how you only have 1 in the bottom? 1 times 1 is 1. Division by 1 does nothing. I can actually skip the bottom entirely, and I can just multiply across the top for this one. So I'm going to take that 2.9 times 33.814 times 2, and that gives me 196.1212. And your rounding might be slightly different than mine because I did shorten the 33.814, but it should be really close to this. That would be my final answer, making sure that I have a unit also included. Since what we're doing here is changing units, if you forget the unit, that's kind of not great. Well, that is it though for the check from yesterday. What I have for you guys today is an assignment to do that includes rates, ratios, and unit conversions. So go ahead, check that out, and have that done by Monday. I hope everything is going great by you. Have a good day.